In 2016 and 2017, a lot of guys came out with the like kind of culture war thing in comics and were not actually on our side. And they got really big followings. And they played this like sort of, it's kind of a cynical thing that like they do this like the right and the left are just as bad. It's a big horseshoe. And that's absolutely false. The left is evil. They're Marxist, communist. They're anti-Christian. They're anti-God. They're anti-family. They are hedonistic, just terrible people at the end of the day. And so that is an objective fact. Everything leftist turns to crap. Always, and this has been a rule. look, they always go, real communism's never been tried once, right? But we know better, and so we are fighting against a communist agenda. This has been a takeover of America to destroy America for decades. And Tom King is a CIA asset that's in DC Comics, and that he's intentionally pushing out culture that is intended to destroy America and be something that's anti-Christian, anti-Trump, anti-you. Your boy Zack is one of these people that he really wanted to be in the mainstream comic industry. I don't hate the guy, or I don't even know him, but and he has some good takes, but he has a lot of bad takes too, and he always defaults to this. Sort of like, I'm going to praise the goodness in the comic industry, and Tom King's doing a bang up job on Wonder Woman, and it's like, what's happening here? Now, I'm going to get into what he said in a moment and preface it with how bad and evil and sinister Tom King's run is. I don't know if your boy Zack is trying to like just play this, move to the middle sort of thing to appease the Coomer audience there. Or he's still just like I think his perspective is he always wanted to write mainstream comics. If you look at like his intentions, he wants to be in at Marvel and DC, and he always has, right? And so we're on the outside here. We know that anybody like even centrist at this point gets blacklisted. We know that it's an evil group in there. There's a whisper network that Ed Piskor named them all. And and they're there. They're real, and they keep everybody out of the industry. They cancel people. They're cancel pigs, as Mark Miller calls them. And you just don't have a shot if you're a white male at this point, even who's just normal. And so there's no reason to want to write these characters. Who wants to write fan fiction of Wonder Woman or Batman or whatever anyway? I mean, it's just fan fiction. Make your own characters. But there's still like, a group of people, like I said, they came up in the YouTube sphere around that time, and they really want to be accepted by the mainstream still, to some degree. They want the mainstream to go, you know what? We actually went extremist, and we saw that our sales dropped, Zack, and you were right. They really, in their heads, think that that's going to happen someday. And Zack thinks that, I'm going to produce a bunch of comics over the years, and they all make hundreds of thousands because of my YouTube following. Like, eventually, one of these publishers is going to see the light and apologize to me. It's never going to happen. They hate you, and they want you dead. And Tom King is one of those because, again, he's a CIA asset. And so, the agenda of the globalists is depopulation. And so they literally do want you dead. And I'm going to go over this, and what a preamble to start the video. It's kind of it's sad to me. I really think your boy Zack should know better by now and know that these people are never going to give him any accolades. I remember when he did his little virtue signal back in the day when he made that second printing of Iron Sights, which is a great book. I really love that book, by the way. But he put it on and then was donating funds to like some trans kids charity, which is like a groomer organization. And I'm not calling Zack a groomer. He didn't do that, but he wanted to virtue signal that he's not a bad guy to these people, so that eventually he'd hope they'd be his friends, I guess. Very weird. I'm not there. The comic industry is toxic. It's filled with Satanism, and this is something we're going to fight with all of our efforts. And that's what we're going to do here. And I'm doing so by not only doing this stuff, but I've been making books at a clip faster than Zack has over the last several years. I don't get much attention for it because my YouTube channel just wasn't that big for a long time. I started kind of late to the game. I kind of poo-pooed YouTube. I was like, I'm a writer. I'm not going to do this. But now I understand, you know what, this is a great marketing platform, and I really appreciate you guys finding everything here. We've sold a ton of books this last week, so thank you everybody who's new to the channel who's come in, and everybody who's been here for a long time too. I really appreciate all of you. This is my Subscribestar. I am putting out the first Subscribestar exclusive comic in print to backers soon, and I'm very excited about this. Because this has been a dream of mine for a while to do exclusive stuff on here, and we want to move more towards this model of neo-patronage and away from, the old models of old pub and these people who hate you. Because, these patron of the arts deals, and you can be my patron of the arts, so I'm making my art here, is how artists did things back in the day, before corporations, before all of this stuff went crazy. And so it's direct to you. I listen to your feedback. I try to incorporate that, and I really appreciate everybody there. If you like this, if you like my works, this is Ayla Rin from my Overmind story. Definitely get on here, and I would appreciate that. We're trying to build this, and once we can get to like 300 people on here, we have like a sustainable deal where I think I'm going to be able to produce like monthly comic books and just really crush the mainstream industry, and that's what we're going to do. So please get on here. I really appreciate it. And if you have not checked out any of my books, I've got a web store. I definitely recommend Overmind to start. We have book 2 coming out very, very soon. And thanks, guys, for listening and being there and supporting us. So what Zach posted the other day was this. I saw someone on Facebook posting they were no longer going to buy any DC comics since Wonder Woman supposedly, it's not supposedly, blasphemes Christianity in Wonder Woman #8. Now, I wrote this article and I posted it up to warn people about what Tom King's doing. And on Facebook, I believe it might have been Dave Williams, the former DC artist, who was going around calling for a boycott, which I was glad of. I was glad to see that catching on, because this is horrific what Tom King's doing. He absolutely is pushing this narrative, and I don't know if your Boi Zack just like can't understand like allegory, or I maybe he just has a shallow understanding of storytelling. I really don't get his take here, or if it's some cynical sort of play towards the middle and he knows better. I really don't. I don't get it. But then again, I don't get what a lot of what he does. Maybe it is just doofus brain or something. but this is what we got. I read that issue, and that's not remotely what happens. It is, and I'm going to show you that, because I don't just do that. He put up one panel here, which is definitely Wonder Woman on a stake, and she's got her hands behind her back tied here. Now, this is image that is meant to look like she's tied up on the cross without like having the full like deal. It's called a little bit of subtlety, and they didn't go full cross with it because it would have been way too obvious. But there's more than just this panel that he's showing. He's showing, I do not believe you, rather than anything here. She rejects this satanic villain's twisted version of Christianity. Now, I'm going to get into this. The villain was trying to brainwash Diana into being a 50s housewife. Again, this is an anti-male piece. The villain is an allegory for Trump, and it's an allegory for Trump's coalition of evangelicals who follow him. And that's what this is. That's what this is about. It's very obvious. She rejects it. Okay, not actual Christianity. So this is great. Well, of course, Tom King's not writing actual Christianity. He's not a Christian, but he is bastardizing it intentionally and calling Christians the villains, and that's what he's doing here. So very weird stuff that Zach's doing. I don't even understand this. And that's not even getting to the fact that she's directly related to the Greek gods. Why would she believe in another religion's gods? Now, there's a lot to unpack in this stupid statement. Now, if you look at Marvel Comics, there's a lot of gods running around in Marvel Comics, Thor and all that. And if you look at Wonder Woman, of course, there's the Greek god element too. But one thing DC never did in the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, or Marvel never did with these characters, is have them go out and make statements that they don't believe in the Christian God at all. Marvel and DC have been very careful to not do that until recent years. But now they're doing it very intentionally. They're going out there explicitly stating that, and it is a psyop. This is Tom King, after all. So it's very ridiculous that he makes that statement to begin with. So we'll just end that. But It is. This is a full allegory of an anti-Christian, anti-conservative rant in this book, and we're going to get into this. I've already made a video on it, but I'll show you again because we need to do this. TLDR, read more comics. And this is the behavior that I talk about here. Like, yeah, read more DC comics. No, you should not be reading more DC comics. Absolutely, Christians should be boycotting this and boycotting DC comics. DC hates you. Why would you give money to people who hate you with these bad stories, which are just bastardizations of heroes, bastardizations of morality, over and over and over again? Why should you? Absolutely, you should not. Read more indie comics that are opposing this stuff, but definitely don't read more of this direct. And this is where Zack's way off base, and he's trying to virtue signal to who? The industry, the people who are just like going into comic shops and buying these books on their pull list via habit over and over and over again because they can't stop the collecting Coomer habit. I guess. I mean, maybe it's a smart move because that's where the disposable income is of people who buy comics, and maybe that's what he's trying to do. But we are here to fight a moral war against these people. I mean, they are horrible, and Zack knows they're horrible. That's why this is kind of a weird thing. So this is let's look at the actual deal here. Wonder Woman's tied up. He reads the Bible, actually Ephesians, which is a passage about women being subservient to their husbands. Which is true. It's not a bastardization of Christianity. That is how it should be, and so it's representing that Christianity is a thing of the patriarchy, and it should be fought against, and that's what it is. Here it is. Why do you think God sent His only Son to save us? This is very blatant, and she's bleeding from the head, just like the crown of thorns here on Christ. He's putting on his worldly king here, and this is a Trump allegory of a villain at that. Why not his only daughter? And this is saying that the message of Christianity is a patriarchal thing that should be rejected, and this is anti-Christian. It really is. DC is anti-Christian. They push the LGBTQ crap anti-Christian. They hate this religion. They really do. And it's weird to see Zack going, oh, it's not about that. It very much is. You see him putting the crown on his head with it's got a cross on it. Again, it's very, very weird to virtue signal on behalf of the mainstream industry against this. It's not your fault. It's God's words, God's works, God's will. You can't save anyone because you're not a son. And there it is. You're just a daughter. And she doesn't just say that. So he pulled up the panel where it says, I don't believe you. But here it is, I do not believe your God. And so that's so God's words are something to be shunned. And that's what she did here. But it goes beyond that in this whole deal. Now, Tom King's and DC's latest Wonder Woman is decried as a full-on grooming psyop. We had this issue a few months ago where Wonder Woman takes this kid out of her parents, this dying kid who's like having like gender confusion because he wants to play with Barbies and stuff. And he's like, does that make me bad? My dad says it makes me bad. And she goes, no, it doesn't make you bad. And so she's trying to promote this grooming gender confusion, even like that says there's nothing wrong with you. Clearly he needs some help. And absolutely wild that she did that. And that Tom King pushed that. Again, it's a subtle sort of thing. It's saying that you should take your kids away from the parents who are instilling morals and gender in them, which is just it's the other way around. When you're instilling non-gender in them, you're the one instilling. People are naturally a way, and we have a bastardization of nature at this point. It's very sad to watch these kids getting pushed into abusive situations by mentally ill adults, and that's exactly what Tom King's trying to push here. Now, this is anti-Christian messaging because the Christian messaging is very clear on where this stands on this kind of degeneracy, and so he built this up intentionally like this. He outright admitted that this villain here is a Trump allegory as the book was coming out, and that it's a stand-in for Trump, and so. When you look at this on this level, yes, absolutely you should be boycotting this. And your boy Zack knows better. Again, I don't know what his plan is on this or why he's doing this. but it's ridiculous. Now, somebody else, Skullface here on Twitter, pointed out that your boy Zack is praising Tess Fowler. Now, Tess Fowler made a whole career trying to destroy his boy Zack and run him into the ground, and yet he's going out there saying that she's one of the best artists out there, and she's so talented. Why would you make that post? It's really weird. He wants the people who hate him to accept him more, and this seems to be his entire mentality. That acceptance is more important to him than the truth, than justice, the American way, and that's why you got to pick your culture warriors wisely, because we have a real battle to fight, and these people are deranged. Until they repent and accept Christ and stop what they're doing, we have to keep on putting the pressure on, putting the social pressure on, and trying to change the culture back. Otherwise, we're never going to, make any headway. So please check out my books on my bookstore and make that headway for us, guys. I'm not trying to get in with Marvel and DC ever, and you can count on that. We're here to create our own better vision. We are creators here. We're not like copycats who are making bad fan fiction or anything like that. We're doing our own thing, and that is the highest evolution of man right there, the being a creator and not being a copycat. And yes, that's what DC is. It's just a failed copy of what came before, because they've twisted the morals, they've twisted everything, and they're pushing a communist, anti-human, anti-Christian agenda. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, we hope to see you on the Subscribe Star soon. We'll be back.